The fraud perpetrated under the guise of creating a new humanity turned out to be a psychological experiment. There is an international game, but nobody will tell you about it because the main rule of the game is to keep silent. Be careful. If you haven't heard about it, so you are a target or a potential target. The declared goal is to create the free humanity of the future, the new world. The main purpose is to take money from people by frightening them and then providing them with an opportunity to pay it off. The hidden purpose is a psychological experiment, a test for humanity, the result of which so far shows that it is already a non-human world. Organizers, a centralized structure with teams in every country, city and district. The composition of the team: director, psychologists, actors, technicians, auto scammers, stuntmen. Methods: psychological tortures, stalking, bullying, intimidation, extortion, blackmail, etc. Stages. Part 1. Hell. At the first stage, surveillance, they study your personality, habits, weaknesses, behavior in extraordinary situations, needs. They study your contacts, listen in your phone, install hidden cameras in your apartment or house, read your correspondence in social networks, study your routes. At the second stage, prank, they send an actor to realize a scenario: bribery, adultery, car accident, etc. At the third stage, accusation, they accuse you of some sin. If there is no sin, then they threaten to spread false rumors, ruin your business, fabricate a criminal case, or disclose personal information. At the fourth stage, chase, they start to create stressful situations, bullying and harassment. It all can look innocent from the outside. Without understanding what is going on, the person begins to seek and find answers and signs in everything. The organizers use previously recruited people, who in different ways bring the necessary information to the person. The recruiters themselves do not see the big picture. At this stage, the organizers use people dressed in clothes of identical colors, people walking and running toward you with bags, suitcases, boxes, people looking into their phones, not seeing the road, people walking slowly in front of you or behind you, people blocking the road, people throwing garbage. They also use transport, neighbors, colleagues, and even relatives can also be involved. The impact on the psyche is made by different means, triggers. The accusing look in the eyes, shooting on the phone, bright lights, colors, sounds, smells, sharp motions, repeated figures and numbers, car accidents set up by organizers to throw you off balance, damage to property, stressful situations at work. Phrases of passerby, passengers on transport and messages or messages in social networks that do not make much sense to others but make perfect sense to you. The above may seem harmless at first glance, but it all depends on the dosage, frequency and intensity. For the person who is targeted, what happens take on a special meaning according to his guilty verdict. A person's life turns into a daily continuous psychological violence resulting in the formation of phobias. As soon as a person leaves the house, everything around him gets set into motion. He is constantly in the crowd, never alone for a minute, and so it is day after day. If a person travels by car, he is constantly stuck in traffic. Road users create dangerous situations. At home, too, there is no opportunity to come to one's sense because of constant noise. Nothing is said directly, but be sure you will understand what extortionists want from you. Finally, you will lose the ability to think critically and analyze what is happening. At the fifth stage, protest, you may try to tell others about it. You may even go to the police or in the prosecutor's office, but no one will believe you. The majority just pretend not to understand what you are talking about, making you look paranoid with delusions of persecution, even though they themselves are already participants in the game. At the sixth stage, extortion, when you are completely paralyzed by helplessness and fear, the blackmail and extortion begins. You are told what you must do to stop the nightmare. The options vary, but usually they require money through the sale of real estate. At the seventh stage, acceptance, you fulfill the conditions of the organizers. At the eighth stage, you become a player and take a vow of silence. After the humiliation of human dignity, you are told that in this way you have become a chosen one, a superhero, and you are now a part of a vast dynamic community whose goals are the best and most benign. As compensation for the losses of the first stage, you may be offered a new job, a position, a new business, or the promotion of an existing business, depending on what the organizers think you need most. You may not be satisfied with the compensation, but you will have no choice. Even with an internal protest, most accept the terms of the offer, since it is made in such a way that it is impossible to refuse it. A new player may be asked to bring in new participants and get more bonuses for that. As in the first part, everything is done by previously recruited people. Part 3. Non-free non-humanity. Filming a bad movie, buying tickets to the theater of violence, real estate frauds, and life of everyone for himself continue. Part 4. Brave New World? What's next? The game is the evil under the cover of good intentions. Its methods is a medical, moral, and social danger to society. It is a test of cruelty, obedience to authority, and conformity. Despite the fact that these torture methods are mostly psychological, they can be much more cruel, more dangerous to the health, to the mind, and to the personality of the person than physical methods. Is the non-free non-humanity experiment for life? How many more people will become players? How much more money will be given to extortionists? We can stop the madness. Share this information.